page. So hello, it's Riikka from Paperliitin blog here today doing a layout. And pink and sweet. And sorry about the light, by the way. It's autumn time in Finland, so well, there's pitch black outside the window and it's been raining the whole day. So it's the electric light and it's a bit yellowish, but at least you can see something. Otherwise it would be pitch black and you need to guess what I'm doing. So let's get started. This is my sample page, and for my next page I'm using either this or this photo of my girls. So let's put this away for a while and start with the background. Oh, let me get this back at the same moment. As you can see, I used another piece of pattern paper underneath, so let's just add that one in first. And the background paper is from 7.studio from the Homegrown collection. And the piece I'm adding in, it's from Prima. It's from an older collection. I think it might be Debutante, I'm not sure. But just like a rose patterned piece of paper. Maybe I'm just doing the same composition. I'm using this photo. Yes, let's do that. So first I'm just adhering my piece to the background. You can use glue, you can use anything. I'm just using a double-sided tape, the thin one. Thank you for the links, Terhi. It's lovely that there's so many of the Artist Live cast here today. Thank you all for coming, and our lovely viewers, thank you for coming. Like that. That's the first layer. Then white gesso. This layout, or actually the technique, is based on something I've done before, but using mists, because I was using another brand of mists and came up with this technique, or I'm not sure came up with, but it was new for me, of using alcohol inks and mists, and the effect is quite lovely. But when I used Prima mists and thought I would make the same technique, it doesn't work, because the composition of mists, depending on the brand, is of course different. So then I figured out that watercolors are the thing for this one, and it works. It's a bit different looking than with the mists, but still. And I'm just spreading the gesso here with a palette knife, trying to go for like this kind of area. Oh, more. Usually I'm doing an area that's too little, so when I add my photo and paper layers, it's like nothing is showing underneath. So let's make it a bit bigger, like so. And for the next layer we need this one to be dry. So let me just move these away, clean my palette knife a little, and then let's heat. Now it's perfect time to say hello Bonnie, hello Julie, Terhi, Karen, Jasmine, Elaine, everybody. Just quickly drawing this. and pausing for a while, because as you can see, there's like thicker layers of gesso here and there. So I can take my lovely rag and try if I can get the texture moved. Not as good as the other layout, but you can actually get the pattern or the weave of the cloth if you're doing this early enough. No, it was too dry. Let me just show you with the other layout, like here and here. It's just that there was a thick layer of gesso in parts, and when I was drying it, I was moving the rag, and it really created a lovely weave kind of pattern. There's just one spot on this one. But let's dry it completely for the next layer. Let's hope it's good. Then let's get the watercolors. I'm using Prima watercolors on my layout, and I adore these little metal tins. I have just the first 3 sets. Let me just show you. This is Decadent Pies, the one with metallics. I don't use that as much. The metallics, yes, but the other colors. This is my favorite. Maybe you can see it. It's called the Tropicals. And this used to be my favorite, the Basics. I think it's probably the autumn color scheme that got in now, because these are the bright ones and these are more muted. Now I've moved to this one. So maybe I'll just add some colors in from there. So it's just adding the watercolors, and as we have the gesso underneath, the paint won't absorb immediately to the paper, which is good because that is really needed in this technique, otherwise it won't work. Just mix of pinks and reds, a little bit of that orange, maybe a bit of that one, trying to get it wet enough. If you want to see the original work, or actually it is a step-by-step tutorial, there he will put a link to my blog. It's a post from 2012, I think, so way back, but it's still a cool technique. So now that we have the watercolors in, let's use the alcohol inks. And that's the magic. The alcohol ink pushes the watercolor away and creates these kind of funny looking blobs or spots. And Marsha actually told me that it looks like something called, I'm not pronouncing it correctly, probably, like, oh, you did already put the link, sorry. So it's something called Ebru. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it's this kind of marbled looking papers. Okay, I would love to add this pink also in, but I'm not getting the jar open. Just a moment. Okay, finally. Let's just add in some of the pink. And if you layer the alcohol inks, like use different colors, you can get a lovely effect. Let's move it around. And the darker bits, they start flowing with the water, creating that extra color. Really gives this kind of lively, like marble looking effect. And then let's draw it. If you can use contrasting colors, but I'm not good with that. Because, of course, if you use something like, for example, yellow watercolor and then bring blues in or something, it's really striking effect. But I'm better with like calmer or monochromatic palettes, just using the kind of reds or pinks or whatever. Alcohol inks are really cool, but normally you use them with glossy paper, something that doesn't allow them to be absorbed immediately. Because if you use alcohol inks on top of regular paper, it just creates a blob, and it's not like as vibrant as the color should be, and it's a bit muddy looking kind of thing. So what can you do if you want to use them on regular paper is add gesso, because that blocks the porousness of the paper, so the alcohol ink can't absorb into the paper anymore. I used white here because to me it gives this lovely light effect, but of course you can use clear gesso as well if you want the actual paper to be showing through, and then just layer alcohol inks on top. That's a cool effect as well. So let me get these away. And well, that's the big part, the background part. And I also love that it kind of mimics the way the 7 Dot Studio paper is colored, because that's like a watercolor kind of effect. And then it's just layering the pattern papers and building layers behind the photo. I don't normally use scissors that much when I do a scrapbook layout, but I always, like at least 90% of the time, use scissors when I cut my photo. I'm not sure why, but that is just something I do. And let me move these things a bit around so I can get, sorry. Maybe I'll just cut a piece. This is resist fabric, so you can see the white dots. They resist the color, or actually you can't see the white dots. Not yet. Soon you will. Let's do that first. So we can again dry something, sorry. But let's use the same colors as we did with the background, so that brings everything together. So getting this open, maybe. Okay, now you start to see the dots, even with just bit tinted water. And then let's add the pink. And some of the other pink as well, and the orange. And of course the way you add the watercolor, if it's wet on dry, or dry on dry or wet on wet affects the look. Every time you're using wet on wet, it gives this more like dreamlike. I don't know how to say it better, but the colors mix better with each other. But if you use dry color or dry background, it's again totally different look. Watercolors are really versatile medium, and you can even create your own mists with them. Just put it in a sprayer and you have a mist of your own. And then add some mica powder in, for example, and you have shimmering mists. Maybe I'll just try to get some of the wetness out of it like that. And then again drying. Sorry. I try to be really quick with this. Yeah, wet on wet is really pretty. And because we use the same colors here as in the background, everything will fit together nicely. Because it's the same colors. And in there is almost done. Yeah, it's dry enough. So let me just grab my layout. And then we need that one. Then we need these ones. And that one. That's a piece of paper from the 6x6 homegrown collection. And then this lovely doily. And this doily and some of the elements I'm going to use, like these ones, are from Lollipop Box Club. It's a monthly kind of kit club, and it's something I started like with my girls, because normally they get these kind of hand-me-downs, something that's not inspiring me anymore or that is too little, like a teeny tiny piece of a pattern paper, because I'm trying not to store everything. So I thought it would be lovely to like give them something of their own, not something that is always from my stash. Although they love it, they're really grateful for any kind of craft supplies. But I started subscribing this kit club so that we could open the kit together and then we would divide it, like something for me, something for them, and it's really lovely to be able to do something like that. So I'm using the 6x6, just a few pieces, the doily, then the resist canvas and a couple of tags. Maybe that one there because I love the poppy. And this is not going to be here, I just use it as my base to make the composition because the canvas is still quite wet. Maybe like that, something. I'm thinking it might need something there. Just a piece, maybe a thinner one. Here. And this would be here, and this would be here. Maybe something here. Okay, now I need a way to lift the whole thing up. I'm sorry, I'm trying to watch the chat every now and then, but I think I need to read it after the show. So if there's any questions, there's Keren and Yasmin and lovely Terhi. Okay, sorry, now I got your name all American. Lovely Terhi to answer them, and if there's something they don't know, maybe Terhi can message me and I can reply. Here we go. As always, I'm using a stapler to get my layers stay put. And we're going to use this other stapler a bit later. But somehow I feel that the office version is better when I'm building the layers. Partly it's because I don't have that many staples for this lovely thing, so I'm just using the regular stapler when it comes to the, well, it's easier to use because it just, and you get it done. It's handy like that. And then let's mount the photo with some foam dots. Here we go. Here we go. Just putting it here on top, like so. And then let's add the whole cluster to the background. I'm trying to avoid the canvas as much as I can because it's still wet, so the dots won't stick to it. Even though these foam dots are amazing, but well, there's just nothing they can do if the background is wet. There we go. Just a few more dots. 2 more. Even though we started a bit late, I'm thinking we're going to be ready on time or even a bit early. It's kind of wibbly wobbly, these layers. Like so. Then let's add that one in there as well, and then we can use the stapler. It should be here. Maybe I'll just it should be enough. A piece of twine. I'm mimicking the composition of the sample layout. I'm just running the pieces of twine through that one and this one. Hi Vicky, thank you for joining in. So there's one coming here someplace. Maybe I'll add it with a few of these. So the details I'm using, this one and the doily and stuff that is still in the pouch. They are from the Lollipop Box Club, and not the latest kit, but the kit before that, called the Flower Fairies. So have you seen this one before? It's 3R Memory Keeper staple board, and as you can see, there's 3 different sizes of staplers included. They're small, medium and large, and well, kind of obviously the small one staples the small staples. Oh, that was a bit silly. This is the normal size, the medium, and these are large ones. So even though now I'm using it like in the edges, but with this you could even staple in the middle of your page if you wanted to, because it's magnetic. This is the guide, which goes here, and of course you put the paper in, and then you just staple, and you can fit all the staplers here. The only thing you have to do is to move this around if you're using the large staples, the small ones or the mediums. And believe me, that's the thing I normally forget to do. Well, luckily I remember it when I put in the first staple and it doesn't work. And then it's like, okay, I forgot this one again. But I know the one I use the most is the medium size. And there's a little guide, so I know exactly where I'm stapling. It moved. If you're near the edge, you can use a normal stapler, but as you go further and further away, it's just hard. Because normally that actually limited the options I had, because I always needed to use the stapler around the edge, because there's just this much space you can really add it in. But now it's sky's the limit. Okay, keeps moving those. It takes a little bit time though to adjust, because I've been using the stapler for some time now and kind of edited my design to fit in the length of the office stapler. So even though I'm starting to realize that now I don't need to be near the edges, I still want to add the staplers quite near the edge. But with this tool I had the possibility to do more, go further. Sounds like on Olympics. So just added those twines with this lovely thing, and the medium stapler takes the regular sized staples, but the other ones of course is a bit trickier. They either need to be themselves. I'm not sure, I don't own the Tim Holtz version, the tiny attacher I'm thinking it's called, if those staples would go to the small one. I haven't tried because I don't own the tiny attacher, but I still think it's marvelous. And that also allows you to mix different sizes of staples in one project. For example, I could have used the small and the large one here to get like that lovely effect, mixed effect. But as I said, I'm still kind of learning to use it because I'm so accustomed to this one. So gradually, I think I will evolve and use that one more. So then it's just the details. And one of the first details I'm going to add, let me show you from this one. What's the thing called again? Yeah, you mean this one? It's We Are Memory Keepers stable board. So this is the whole package. You get all of this in one package. So yeah, I was showing this one because there's this kind of edge design with the twines. I wanted something to mimic that in this corner, and for this one I only used a part of a sticker. Would that be enough? Perhaps? Well, maybe. I have another one, so let's use this one. So, as you can see, it's just the edges of a sticker I have already used. So that. Then let's cut a snip there. And let's cut a snip there, and I should have a little, like a corner, which mimics the shape of that. So in this corner, of course, you could use the twine to do this. For example, add a button there and go like that angular shape. Where did I put the board? Here. Because let's use it to add a couple of staples just to mimic the design again. Yeah, truly frugal. I love the pink stickers, so of course I need to use like every last bit of them. And that's a lot to say from me, because when my first daughter was born, I actually hated pink. She was wearing, as a baby, light blue or beige or whatever, not anything pink, because I didn't like the color. And now, well, look at me. It's a pink page with pink details and pink roses. So I think they learned me to love pink. So let's get all the embellishments out. So there's a resin rose, and then we of course have these lovely glimmery things. That one. Mix like those two there. And then we have these. Do I have any on the pink ones left? That's no, this is the only one. That might be. Maybe I'll put the piece there. Just to kind of do this kind of like linear, is that the word? Design. Let's put the other piece there as well. I'm thinking something should be added here. I would have loved the pink kind of banner looking thing, but I don't have any more of those, so let's add this one. There we go. Then a title. I think there was Sibling Love. I checked that one before because I was choosing the photos. Thought that, hey, this is the perfect pink page. Here we go. Then let's add those and these little things. There's the heart-shaped sequins and little pearls, half pearls from the kit. Let's add that one there. I really love the resin roses. They're pretty cute. And a couple of these. Tiny pink one. Let's go for a triangle kind of shape. Maybe the pink one here. Whoops, where did it go? There. I don't use the tweezers. Like every now and then these kinds of little things make me think, I maybe should get those. Whoops. Okay. I was checking the chat and then I fell that one. Is there something going on there? And I'm not sure what. I think Karen needs to leave. And Karen is going to be on next Monday doing something fabulous. Because she always does. And I will be moderating, so I will be again next Monday here. And then I actually have time to chat with you guys. I want to add this one, but where? Oh, there's the cluster, there's one. Thinking here. Just trying to get these triangular things to guide the eye to the photo, which is of course the main point. Then we are almost done. So I have this one also. Don't feel that it needs that one anymore. So of course I do like journaling, but only after the show, because otherwise you just see me writing and that's a bit dull. But just tiny hand-drawn touches. If you have followed some of my previous shows or seen my videos, this is something I maybe 80% do. I used to hate my handwriting, but now it's something really important that I use my handwriting in the layouts, because that's something only I can do. And as well as the little doodles. I brought the Sharpie, but now I've been favoring this one. This is Signo. I think it's called Uniball. Yeah, Uniball Signo pen. It works great on acrylic paint as well. Like that. And then I'm thinking that rose is too pale. And as you can see from the sample layout, I did the same thing here. So adding a bit of color with a rose to make it work better with these colors here. So let's, maybe I do it, just in case I'll do it this way. First add the water and then the color, so it won't get too dark. Because this allows me to kind of regulate the intensity of the color a bit more, because if I go directly with wet paint to the dry flower, It just absorbs the color and then it's there. This way I'm getting a bit more time to move the color if I want, and to kind of move it around. So now it's better following that same color scheme. So here we go. We are done. Just a journaling, but well, I'm doing it a bit later, so you don't have to see me doodling and thinking what to write. So I want to thank you all for coming, and Garen will be on next week. So let me just say thank you and then flip the camera as before I stop recording, or actually stopping the recording and then saying thank you once again. But thank you all for watching the video, and please, and bye for now.